Ananda Vacanamrtam, Part 6. Bhakti is the best. It is a recognized fact that the way to salvation is threefold: jnana, karma, and bhakti. All three of these roles are recognized routes, and I have nothing to say against any of them. But those who are experienced in this life of spirituality say, after realization, that the path of bhakti is the best. Even the intellectual giant Samkar Acharya had to admit that moksha karana samagrayam bhakti reva garayasi. Bhakti is the best way to moksha or salvation. The approach of bhakti is the best. Why is the approach of bhakti the best? The approach of jnana is through analysis and synthesis, passing along the systematic route of movement, and there is pause and speed. During the phase of pause, there is every chance of degeneration. And what happens in the approach of karma? Wherever one gets diverted from the goal of life, from the culminating point of one's march, one becomes degenerated. Vanity may develop both in the case of jnana and in the case of karma. But the path of bhakti is harmless. During the approach through jnana, one is to keep the goal a bit away from oneself and try to analyze it. In the case of karma, it is the same. Although the position may be a bit closer, maintaining a bit more proximity. But in the case of bhakti, what happens? The aspirant comes in the closest proximity to his or her goal, to his or her Lord, to his or her Parma Purusha. To the jnani, the goal is something impersonal. God is something impersonal, something theoretical. To the karmi, God is neither personal nor impersonal, but maintains a link between the two. So, in the life of a karmi, the frustration is less than that of a jnani. But in the life of a bhakta, God is a personal one, his or her own father, the soul of one's own soul. So one is linked with one's own goal. And this link with one's personal God is maintained forever and never gets distorted. That is why everybody will have to admit the fact that moksha karana samagrayam bhakti reva garayasi. Bhakti is the best approach. The devotional approach is the best approach. It requires no intellectual strength and no karmika stamina. Human life, is a measured one. Human beings come here for a very short span. If during this short span one tries to go through all the scriptures, it will take more than 1,000 years. And one is only here for approximately 100 years. So, going along the path of jnana is a mere waste of existence. And karma is infinite. And the human structure is a finite one, with limited stamina and limited capacity. So the path of bhakti is not only harmless, but the wisest one, and is the approach of the most cunning people. So my advice to you all is to move along the path of bhakti. It is the best route. In a short discourse in Bombay recently, I said, in response to a question that actually so-called jnanis misuse their existence, they misuse their valuable time. And karmis also misuse those things if they keep themselves detached from the goal. So far as intelligence is concerned, the so-called intellectuals have C-grade intellects. The so-called karmis have B-grade intellects. And the bhaktas, who are the most intelligent, have the A-grade intellects. So I hope you boys and girls try to be of A-grade intelligence and move along the harmless path of bhakti. In a previous discourse, I said that Parmatattva is just like a big mango grove. Now 3 people, 3 aspirants, a jnani, a karmi, and a bhakta, go to that mango grove. Now what will the jnani do? He or she will count how many leaves there are in those mango trees. While he or she is counting the leaves, the karmis will climb those trees and come in contact with the leaves, flowers, and mangoes. And what will the bhaktas do? The bhaktas will enjoy the taste of the mangoes. And in the evening, what will happen? The bhaktas will finish eating all the mangoes, and the jnanis and karmis will quarrel among themselves. There are so many scriptures, Vedas and Puranas. There are so many books, recognized and not recognized. And the jnanis will quarrel among themselves regarding the grammar and the hasanta and the visarga of the slokas. And what will the karmis do? They won't quarrel, but they will work just the bullock of an oil pressing machine. Have you seen bullocks working in the oil pressing machine? They move more than 100 miles a day, but there is no progress. All their movements are restricted to that room. Karmis are like that. But what will bhaktas do? Those scriptures are like the ocean. And what will the bhaktas do? They will churn the ocean. After churning, what will they get? Butter and buttermilk. And then bhaktas will eat up the butter. And in the evening, the jnanis and the karmis will quarrel among themselves regarding the ownership of the buttermilk. So be intelligent. My advice to you is to be the intelligent and don't try to be a C-grade intellectual. 2nd December 1978, Madras, published in Ananda Vacanamrtam, Part 6.